Yo guys, today I want to talk about Greene and a very bad and at the same time sad news. So just listen to me, I will talk about the whole context about it for you to understand it. Back then, this year of course, the official Mr. Olympia Facebook page, they started a campaign, Will Kai sign, and the topic is Will Kai sign the Mr. Olympia contract. And there was a deadline, and it was the 14th of May 2016. So the deadline is already over for 2 months. Okay? Even the Mr. Olympia competition seemed to not know if he will compete or not compete, and as they didn't say anything about that, I already knew basically I knew probably Kai will not compete. Probably Greene will not compete at this year's Olympia. And it's very sad because Greene is the top tier contender against Mr. Olympia, Phil Heath. Realistically, he has the most chances to take away the title. I will talk a little bit about the history on the Olympia. Back then, 2012, it started great. Greene looked awesome. And he was a serious challenger. He got second. I think the best years were 2002, 2013. Look at that. You knew Greene can make it in the future. He shouldn't quit. He looked great. He even looked, aesthetic compared to the years after that. He looked pretty aesthetic in those years. So he had a great body, and he still has. Okay. These are the comparisons. So Greene, there is no question about it that Greene is a gift too, like Phil Heath, and he is not an average person and not an average bodybuilder. He is a bodybuilder who could be Miss Olympia one day. He has the genetics, but the years after that he didn't look that good. He got bigger and bigger. His guts did stick out, and it didn't look good. But there was a good news. This year, 2016, he came back and he won 3 Arnold Classics. Of course, the main Arnold Classic and 2 Arnold Classics later on. A couple of weeks later, internationally, and he looked great again. He looked way better than the previous years. Look at his eyes. He looked way back than his previous years. Look at him. He seemed to have his guts better under control, and got his waist a little slimmer and looked pretty damn good, right? He does look good again. And a lot of people, we talked about that in the gym and in the bodybuilding scene. They all thought, Greene, he will compete at the Olympia. He will compete at the Olympia this year. Last year it was just, a thing that he did one time. He wanted to get attention back, win the Arnold Classic 2016, show the Mr. Olympia contest that he's very, very relevant. He's one of the most relevant bodybuilders in the scene. And this is the bad news about this. Sorry about that, but Greene won't compete at this year's Olympia. If you don't believe me, hear it by himself.
A lot of young lions that are obviously going to be there, but does Kevin Levrone place ahead of Greene in this year's Olympia?
Well, absolutely not, because Greene won't be there.
I think it gives it a little bit of a push, obviously, in terms of getting some of the old school fans maybe interested. We got a lot of young lions that are obviously going to be there, but does Kevin Levrone place ahead of Greene in this year's Olympia?
Well, absolutely not, because Greene won't be there.
So I repeated one time. for you to hear it clearly, because it was pretty fast. The quality isn't that good of the footage, but like you hear it by yourself, you know, PUBG Gorilla asks him, and I watched the video for a half an hour to get this fucking information. Kai Greene is, you know, when you ask Kai Greene a question where the answer would be yes or no, it's not basically that video, but it's in general. The answer could be yes or no. So I say basically, Kai Greene, what do you like blue? And he could say yes or no, and okay, I would say okay, great. But he talks about it he talks about this endless and endless and endless, and tries to do some philosophical stuff, but at the end you don't know if yes or no. So there was all the questions about that, if you even could compete at the Olympia, and probably not much people know about that, because he talks around the question too much. He talks and talks and talks and talks. Crazy, man. He would be a great politician, I think. And I'm disappointed, of course, you know, as a fan perspective, as a fan who will watch the Olympia. And why I will watch Olympia? Mostly because of Kevin Levrone. So this is the news, the sad news. I will make another video, an interesting video on Kai Greene, and an interesting video on Kevin Levrone, and some news, stuff like that. Just subscribe me, of course, it's free, and you will get contacted on your iPhone or on your, you know, Android mobile phone when I will make a new video. So don't forget to subscribe. I am disappointed. What do you think about that? Was it clear for you, or do you say, you know, Jay Cutler earlier in the years even said that Kai will never do the Olympia again. Do you think that Kai Greene will never do the Olympia again? Or what do you think? Because Jay Cutler said he will get all the Arnold Classics titles worldwide. So stay tuned, subscribe. I'm out.